on Wednesday, members of the House took action with a sweeping gun bill that would raise the age to buy an assault rifle to 21, but it still has to pass the Senate, and we'll see about that.
Sounds sensible.
Yeah, and a couple other things. I'll run them through. The Protecting Our Kids Act, POCA, I guess, as the legislation is known, also includes provisions to ban the sale of large capacity magazines and new rules for proper storage of guns at home. The bill passed the Democrat majority chamber 223 to 204, still pretty close, mostly along party lines. 5 Republicans broke ranks, 2 Democrats broke ranks. Meanwhile, Matthew McConaughey, I don't know if you saw the speech.
I saw a lot of it.
He gave a White House briefing on Wednesday urging everyone from the government to the media to make changes. It was 21 minutes. There was a lot of he was so...
He's from Uvalde.
He's really close. He went to school right down the street.
Yeah, he grew up in Uvalde before they moved to another part.
I feel... I'm from North Hollywood.
Yeah.
There was the whole North Hollywood bank robbery shootout.
Did anyone ask you to speak?
No one fucking asked me
You
to
missed your
say
window,
shit.
buddy.
I didn't say
for
boo.
you, Adam's the real
You didn't even get
victim
5
here.
minutes in front
I
of
feel like I
Congress?
could have done 10, like a solid 8 minutes.
You probably banked it there at some point.
It is kind of funny, though, because you're like, McConaughey, he's from Uvalde.
Yeah,
I'm from North Hollywood. Shall I weigh in? They used assault rifles. They used high-capacity magazines. They had banana clips and AK-47. They had it all.
Yeah.
Shit. I should have... I was on... Shit, I may have even been on MTV at the time.
Oh man.
Well, maybe if there was a robbery at the Bank of Hoven.
Oh, yeah, I had their credit card. Yeah, secured, but yeah. I could have spoke out.
So he was peak McConaughey in a lot of this, but here's 40 seconds of the 20-minute speech.
Look, we heard from so many people, all right? Families of the deceased, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, Texas Rangers, hunters, Border Patrol, and responsible gun owners who won't give up their Second Amendment right to bear arms. And you know what they all said? We want secure and safe schools, and we want gun laws that won't make it so easy for the bad guys to get these damn guns. So, we know it's on the table. We need to invest in mental health care. We need safer schools. We need to restrain sensationalized media coverage. We need to restore our family values. We need to restore our American values.
Wow.
And we need responsible gun ownership. Responsible gun ownership.
Now, this begs the question, is he acting in this, or is he always just Matthew McConaughey in movies?
I was going to say he should be an actor.
Yeah.
The Republicans get Scott Baio to provide a rebuttal.
It's good.
Dean Cain.
Scott Baio.
Yeah.
What year was the North Hollywood?
Oh, my God.
96, 97?
I feel like I was in college, so 97.
Where was the bank? Well, I live in North Hollywood.
Later
now.
than that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, where was the bank at?
I think it was the B of A that's on Laurel Canyon. That's
97.
Probably a Mexican supermarket now. At some point, everything turned into a Mexican supermarket in North Hollywood. But there was a B of A that was kind of deeper North Hollywood from where I was from. It was somewhere after Oxnard or Victory or something on Laurel Canyon. Because when I grew up, the Sears was across the street, and that was a big deal. You could go to the Sears and look at shit that my parents wouldn't buy you, but you could still see it.
Get there.
It was like we treated Sears like you treat the zoo, right? Yeah. You just go in there, not fucking taking a kangaroo, but there is a slot car set, and you may look at it.
It's awake all the time.
Yeah, there's a moped over there.
Sure.
Feel free.
Its habitat.
Don't feed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just watch it. All right, now we'll go home. Yeah, the Sears was really my zoo. It's like a petting zoo for me.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
A petting zoo. You get to try it on, put it back.
Just look at it. Yeah.
Are you near the John's supermarket as well?
So I'm close to Toluca Lake. So I know where the John's is, but I'm farther
good.
south.
Be close.
I'm Camarillo and
Bougie.
I'm bougie.
97.
I'm not gonna live near where the bank
When
got robbed.
97? Was I on MTV yet? Because I could have.
February
sure.
97.
I could have delivered
I was
a
in
message.
college. You were for sure on Loveline.
Yeah, you could have
on
appealed
TV.
to them directly on camera.
On MTV, though.
I think
live,
sure you were.
because it was a while. It happened for a while, right? It was like a shootout.
Oh, it was insane.
Yeah.
They got all beaked up on drugs. I don't know if they smoked it or slammed it or whatever.
They should
Probably
have snorted.
smoked or
They
They're
covered
safe.
themselves head to toe in, Kevlar vests. And by the way, they had the whole thing. I think they had helmets or pants or whatever. They were very protected.
Yeah.
They then they got their AK-47s and their big capacity banana clips, and they just went and robbed the bank. But when they were done or before they went in, they just walked out and they just stood in front of the bank, and all the cops had like their service revolvers or their 9mm pistols, and they were just hiding behind their squad cars. They just stood there and just started firing into the squad car. The bullets are going through the fender.
Oh my gosh.
The helicopter's going overhead. They're just firing at the helicopter. They're just standing there firing the whole time.
This is 45 minutes.
And
45 minutes.
the LAPD went into the B&B gun store in North Hollywood and broke into it to get rifles,
The stuff.
because they were outmanned by these guys.
Jesus.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, and I'm from North Hollywood, and no one asked me to say shit about it.
So, Michael, what's the town in Indiana you're from?
Wabash.
Or if there, God forbid, a national tragedy should befall Wabash, are you the go-to guy for the
Crystal
media?
Gale lived there. She grew up. So I've never.
She sings like an angel.
Yeah.
And her hair is
beautiful.
so. Oh,
Dresses
my God.
in the museum. I'll never.
Oh, never.
Country music.
Letterman's in Indiana.
Yeah, he was really close,
Yeah.
like an hour and a half away. But Crystal Gale was in our hometown.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
as long
Gina,
as
Overland Park, are they going to you?
Rob Riggle.
Ah,
Paul Rudd. The list goes on and on. Jason Sudeikis.
David Koechner. Yeah,
Koechner, yeah.
they're
all
going
of
to
them.
Catherine Bigelow and Greg Proops if something happens in San Carlos.
Oh, no, they're going to Tom Brady.
yeah, I mean, until Crystal dies, maybe a few years after, too. Because she probably has a sister who.
She'll just play her song.
Yeah, man.
Is that Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue?
I think so. She had a couple
She
of hits.
You Light Up My Life.
That's
No.
Carpenter's.
No, that's Debbie Boone.
Are you sure? Because I learned how to do Light Up My Life.
That's a religious
You give
song.
me hope. I know. To carry on.
Oh, you do the hands?
Light up my
You guys, I
life
didn't mean to start
and
this.
fill my nights with- we learned that in first grade.
That's impressive. You still
Thank
know
you.
it.
Thank
I
you.
think
That's all I
that's
remember.
Pat Boone's
I thought it was the
daughter
Carpenters. I mean, maybe.
singing about Jesus Christ.
I never knew that. How did we get away with doing that in a public school? Debbie Boone, you're right.
Yeah.
What's up, Kansas?
That's true.
God's never far.
Love Line on MTV started in '96, so I could have,
Nobody said shit to
"Where's
you."
my camera?" and then
gotta get a new
shifted around
publicist.
to it and talked
Yeah.
about North Hollywood. Yeah,
We got to
Didn't
get
make
more
the cut.
B&B gun stores. So
That's
the police
right.
can arm up.
They literally broke into the gun store.
How was that?
Crime begets crime.
I imagine they're insured, and you just walk away from that.
I think they had like the big metal screen and stuff, and they just tore it all down,
Damn.
and they went. And by the way, so now they all carry rifles.
Yeah, I've
and
seen
stuff
them.
now because they're not. If this shit happens again,
Might
we
not be a
can't
gun
just have
store
our
around.
pistols with us.
Yeah.
Let's talk Weinstein, because he's on both sides of new legal battles. One, he's the defendant again, and one, he's the plaintiff. So let's talk about him defending himself again. Weinstein's set to be charged with indecent assault. Apparently, there's a decent assault in the UK. The Crown Prosecution Service authorized the charges on Wednesday after an investigation. They relate to an assault.
with all the traveling, the Cannes or Cannes, and
That's
all
right.
the international shit.
This is
He
London
didn't-
'96.
He didn't lose his cock in the
No.
luggage.
Not at all.
Held in the customs.
Yeah, he packed that shit
Yep.
on the plane.
He does need to be formally charged in the UK before a trial can begin. But as we know, he's already serving 23 years for sexual assault. According to the Washington Post, which there's been dueling facts about this, but WAPO says he's currently in California, where he was extradited in July of last year.
Yeah, that's what Garagos said, I think.
No trial set yet, though.
Did we figure out what his ex-hottie wife is up to?
She was
Who was she
was the
dating?
belle of the ball. The hell was her name? She did that like beautiful magazine spread about getting on with her life.
Don't we kind of have to go, really? You never knew anything?
Never heard whisper.
Georgina Chapman.
Just nothing?
You really looked the other way.
You know, when he was like, he was going to meet Gwyneth Paltrow at 3 a.m.
Mira Sorvino
at the fucking Shutters Hotel down at the beach, and it was a Tuesday night to talk about a script. Like,
hey, Harvey, Gretchen Mall's on the phone. She's crying.
yeah, nothing.
Guess who she's dating? It's been 2 years.
It's somebody. Right?
Bob Weinstein.
Adrian Brody.
Wow,
Motherfucker.
stayed in the Miramax family.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he may have to deal with that soon, but he has some years to serve as well. Also, he's suing. He wants to sue Chrysler for being relegated to a walker in recent years. He reportedly he was going after the vehicle manufacturer for what he says was a shoddy brake system in his new lawsuit. TMZ reports that he claims that in August 2019, he was involved in a nasty wreck near Bedford, New York, while riding in one of their Jeeps, which he says the company provided so it could make an appearance at one of his films that he was working on. Unclear what movie. But Weinstein said he was driving the Jeep when he had to swerve to avoid hitting a deer, and claims that he attempted to miss the deer, the brake system failed, and sent the car rolling, and it's
Never
rendered
heard
him.
about this.
Yeah, he says he's paralyzed.
Attempting to miss the deer is decent assault.
That's right.
Because you attempted to miss.
That's
the
exactly
deer.
right. So
Yeah.
but like, what if he wins? What does it matter?
I think that's a force majeure. Like we make cars, we don't make miracles. If a fucking deer runs
like
out
that.
on a highway,
I like
and
that
you
tagline.
try to swerve to avoid it. We don't. We don't make a car that can deal with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's on you.
Yeah. Really, I've been sitting on the story for a day or two because it's so sad, but we have to get to it. Bruce Willis.
Oh, no.
He's starring in what's being called one of his final movies. It's called
Oh, he's going fast.
it's called White Elephant.
I didn't know he could still do one. That's great.
Well, I'm going to explain it. It's called White Elephant. John Malkovich is in it, Michael Rooker, Bond girl Olga Kurylenko. But reports are coming out saying that members of the crew on the movie recall him just being really confused, asking why he was there. One crew member said,
I've had crew ask me why.
"Why are you here?"
What are you doing on this set? I want to talk about the North Hollywood tragedy, if you don't mind. This show's called Ellen. She's not from North Hollywood, so we need you to kind of be escorted out.
Bring in.
One crew member said it was less of an annoyance and more like, how do we not make Bruce look bad? Someone would give him a line, he didn't know what it meant. He would just puppet it back. And we talked about this. For the last few years, he's churned out a string of direct-to-video movies, but he was diagnosed with a language condition, basically called aphasia, and it's really he's deteriorating. The director of White Elephant was offered 2 more movies with Willis, and he turned them down. He said, it does not seem right to go through this again.
It always seems like by the time we hear it,
It's been there.
down the
Yeah. Story
road.
broke, yeah.
Sad.
And
but-
this isn't, there are movies where you hear some crazy shit about like behind the scenes. You're like, I got to see this. I can't see this.
No.
I have no
No.
desire.
No.
Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather see that movie where the lady was killed on the trestle bridge
Oh, right.
than this
The
one.
dailies.
Yeah.
That's where that one ranks.
Yeah.
In that order.
Sad thing is, I would like to see an Allman Brothers movie, but
I would too.
yeah, to
I'd
what
like
end?
to see Rust. Come on.
Jesus.
They're still making that, right? I thought they were gonna
Was that back on?
wrap it
Rust?
back. They're not doing it.
I don't know.
I thought they were shooting again, but
my whole thing, and the Allman Brothers project kind of throws this out the window a little bit, but Hollywood is full of such soulless monsters that no matter what tragedy happens on set, whether it's The Crow or Twilight Zone, Vic Morrow getting fucking beheaded, that movie will come out. There's millions of dollars sunk into it, and you'll see it someday.
Well, and to your point, Michael, there's a Forbes headline that says Rust producer is confident movie will be completed after shooting investigation.
We'll see a version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and also, it's kind of what's one necessarily have to do with the other. Like maybe Otis Redding died before Sitting on the Dock of the Bay came out.
So you
But
can't-
I'm glad
Can't
I
release it.
know the song.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. You got to look it
Yeah.
up, Emmy, or ask Dawson.
That's it.
Dawson, did Otis Redding die before Sitting on the Dock of the Bay came out?
Yes. I'll verify.
That's emphatic, so it means we're up to 40%. Yeah, it happens. Anyway.
All right.
I like that song.
Do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the Grammys. They're adding some fun new categories that will be up for nomination in the future, and I have them for you. 6 new categories, actually. Songwriter of the Year, which is probably overdue.
Speaking of MTV movie reality TV show awards came back the other day, like after kind of coasting to a stop a decade ago. They just came back.
Yeah, I saw clips of that. So we get Songwriter of the Year, Best Spoken Word Poetry Album, which I know you're excited about.
Oh, man.
Alternative
Come
music
on,
performance.
Henry Rollins.
Americana music performance, score soundtrack for video games and other interactive media, and my favorite, best song for social change. Let me explain what that is. That is
Common's walking home with 2 awards that I can tell so far. He's going to do the spoken word, and then he's going to get the social change song.
Yep. So that's going to be based on lyrical content that addresses a timely social issue and promotes understanding, peace building, and empathy.
Dawson, get coming on the tits.
Can the change be getting rid of that category? Can that the song be about?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. You think this stuff is kind of new-ish. I mean, they've been around for a while. But one of the best pop songs ever was Elvis Costello. What's so funny about Peace, Love, and Understanding?
Yeah.
And
I mean, protest songs date back to the 60s.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Songs.
he's like walking through this world, and he's seen hunger and strife and all this shit. And he's like, what happened to Peace, Love, and Understanding? And it wasn't written by Elvis Costello. It was written by Buffy Davis, I think.
Oh, my God.
No,
What a coincidence.
It was, I think it was written by
Burt Bacharach.
no, it was a contemporary. It was like Dave Edmonds or
Harry Nilsson or someone?
Nick Lowe. I'm going with Nick Lowe.
All right.
on this one, who sung the opposite of that song, which is you got to be cruel to be kind.
Ooh, yeah.
So that you can beat the shit out of your son, but that's you being kind.
You love him.
I think Nick Lowe
Yes,
wrote.
you're correct. Nick Lowe wrote it.
That fucker wrote, you got to be cruel to be kind. And what's so funny about Peace, Love, and Understanding? That's range.
That's the whole range, yeah.
And verified, yes, Otis Redding died before the release of Dock of the Bay. And it reached number 1. First posthumous number 1.
Wow.
First posthumous, number 1.
Wow.
At least in the UK.
Do you guys, I remember seeing this a while ago. This is at least 10 years old. It's Louis C.K., Chris Rock, Ricky Gervais, and Seinfeld about, do you remember this?
On HBO. Well, I don't know what you're going to reference, but
I just sent it to Ben. If you wouldn't mind putting this up. I think about this every once in a while, and it really gets me. Louis C.K.'s talking about an open mic where somebody does their version of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, and it fucking kills Ricky Gervais. Have you seen this?
No, I don't think I've seen it. I've seen
a minute and a half.
the sort of symposium where comedians are talking about what makes things funny.
No, this is not that.
Well, that is
lowbrow.
it's a clip from that, though.
But it's
they're talking about
I'm
stand-up.
saying it's like they're sitting around breaking down comedy.
Yes.
Right,
here we go.
A Run to You, which is
Yeah.
probably on your phone.
I was gonna say,
if someone
what might
calls,
be?
we'll hear it, right? It's a ringtone. I had a very similar experience.
What?
It's no cockism gay, but it's
That's
Papa for you.
That's
That's
pretty
not
bad.
even a Tool tune. That's a fucking great song.
Were people into it? Like, oh, Papa Few.
I remember, like, I was nowhere comedically. I had no credentials or anything, but I was like, oh, Jesus, come on. Fucking, that's barely enough. It's not enough to make a parody song, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Pop for you.
Yeah, that's not a song about Buffy Davis overdosing. There's not much. There's not
That's
enough
a
to work
song.
with.
Not
That's
a
a
meat on
song.
that bone.
There's not enough to
That's
work
a
with.
stylistic
Right.
choice.
I'm gonna pop a few.
Yeah.
It's more of a notion.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me. I was at the Comedy Store one night, and you know that Beyonce song, "Halo, Halo, I can see your halo." He just changed it to "I got a job that pays low."
Yeah.
And he was very confused as to why we weren't all responding with like we weren't up on our feet cheering that.
Yeah.
Who is this?
That was Louis C.K. All right, let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Well, last but not least, there's Geico. Like save a little money on your auto insurance? Yeah, who wouldn't? You go with Geico. When it comes to great rates on insurance for everything, Geico can help. At cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, RVs, even homeowners or condos or renters coverage. You can save even more. You'll get special discounts when you get your bundle working, so you can switch today. see just how much you could save when you go with Geico. That is Geico. Switch and save a ton. Michael's going to be at the Ben Theater June 10th through the 11th. I think I can save us a ton in copier toner, Emmy. I say we go June 10th and 11th, and we don't even say June again. Yeah. I think they've saved us.
Just 10 and 11?
Just June
buddy,
10
I don't know about that.
and 11.
Flying
like
net.
And I think the audience will be informed.
I think they'll
And I'm
know.
going to save a fucking boatload on copier toner. Also,
learning.
June 14th through June 15th, the following day. That'll be Off the Hook Comedy Club. That's in Naples, and the Ben Theaters in West Bend, Wisconsin. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Never been to that theater, but knock it out of the park.
Thank you.
And the stand-up special, the Internet Live, streaming on Apple Music and other platforms as well. And Kyle Gallner as well. His movie, which Brian gives 2 thumbs up to, Dinner in America. Me, Denver Comedy Works, I think, is coming up south. That's June 24th and 25th. Go to adamcarolla.com and say hi. And until next time, this is Adam for Kyle and Michael and Gina and Bald. Say it. Mahalo. And I've just been drinking the entire time. Like, I'm like, oh, I just watched 7 of these.
So it's like Hard Knocks, but with racing, kind of.
Yeah, it's Hard Knocks, but with racing. And each episode is like 42, 47 minutes, 39 minutes. And the next one just rolls.
You don't even get to finish the
There
credits.
should be a thing where it should be like, stop drinking, give me 10 push-ups, or go the fuck to bed.